They say the pen is mightier than the sword. At KBLA Talk 1580, we not only have a lot to talk about, we have a lot to write about. Politics, relationships, business, empowerment, and culture. The all-star roster at KBLA Talk 1580 has you covered.
That's what it's all about.
Be sure to follow us on all our socials for our latest book releases, op-eds, essays, and commentaries from our hosts. And, of course, download the KBLA 1580 app as we strive to remain your most trusted, credible, and reliable source for the issues you care about. This is unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
What up, baby?
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
To choose a partner is the most important job interview we're ever asked to carry out. Around half of us get it very wrong, not because we're inept, but because we are wounded. We might think that there would be a minimum of training and some hazard lights to guide us, but our dedication to public safety ends squarely at the door of our dating interviews. We're supposed to need to be left strictly alone to follow our misfiring instincts. Out of some peculiar fear of infringing on our liberties, we are abandoned to make our own beautiful disasters generation after generation without drawing the slightest benefit from the sufferings and late-life realizations of others. And therefore, with horrifying predictability, the most cautious among us routinely come adrift without discerning the multiple cataclysms they are incubating, and which may take a good 2 decades fully to come to light. What above all else clouds our judgment is something we have scarce control over, and are seldom granted the opportunity to explore in sufficient depth: our childhoods, and more particularly our messed up childhoods. For the single greatest predictor of unhappy adult love is, in a process that layers misery upon misery, simply and squarely our miserable time at the hands of significant others in our early lives. It's expecting too much to think that one might have been substantially unloved or troubled as children and then grow up to make any sort of reasonable or successful choices in our adult years. The best we could aim for is a live appreciation that our instincts are liable to be profoundly unreliable guides to our future contentment, which might inspire a commitment to getting someone else, a wise, impartial judge, to check and help us with our homework. This is some of what happens when our interviewing capacities have taken a hit. Firstly, we can't sift. What singles out the emotionally damaged from the more robustly healthy is not their involvement with mad candidates. These are everywhere, and they're often irresistibly delightful on the outside. It's their propensity for being unable to spot the problems in due time and extricate themselves with the requisite ruthlessness and decisiveness. Above all, a difficult childhood inducts us into getting interminably stuck. Secondly, we aren't a friend to ourselves. The reason for the stuckness is hugely poignant, that we don't like ourselves very much. Therefore, when someone blows hot and cold, lets us down, plays games with our minds, makes and then routinely tramples on promises, denies us tenderness, and swears they won't do that nasty thing to us again, and then promptly does, our first, second, and 100th impulse is never simply to up sticks and leave. Our tendency is to wonder what we might have done to provoke the problem, whether there is something that we have misunderstood, and whether we might learn to be more skillful in not upsetting them going forward. Our past gives us a touching but ultimately disastrous...
Ho, ho, ho! The voice of reason back in the building with another fire topic. You know I'm going to have this discussion. That has been the purpose of this show since its inception. We started this show in 2008. It has been on multiple platforms, and now it is here at KBLA Talk 1580. And I pride myself on having open discussions where we don't allow judgment in. I want you guys to hear tonight's topic. Do we choose love, or are we chosen by love? Do we choose happiness, or are we chosen? Or are we lucky enough to fall into a happy situation? Why is it that we find ourselves always picking the same kind of partner? We get out of a situation, we get into another situation. And that situation tends to mirror the situation that we got out of in some areas. Do we choose love, or are we chosen by love? An enthralling look at why we end up with who we end up with. And then we wind up complaining, being disgruntled, dissatisfied. Do we have a choice in who we love? How do you forgive yourself for choosing the wrong person? Why do we choose the wrong person? Are we a co-creator in our own disaster? Somebody's got to call me tonight. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Do we choose love, or are we chosen by love? What are your thoughts? I want to know why we end up with the mess we end up with. When we come forward, more questions and callers.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Special Needs Network Incorporated, together with Assemblymember Isaac Bryan, cordially invites you to Christmas Care Exchange in the Park, Sunday, December 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Lamert Park, located on 43rd Place in Crenshaw. Experience a day of giving, love, community, and support. There will be celebrity guests, arts and crafts, resource fair, and more. Come take a picture with Santa. Enjoy the DJ. This is a free event open to the public Sunday, December 18th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't miss the Christmas Care Exchange in Lamert Park, located on 43rd Place in Crenshaw. This is the season of giving, and the Special Needs Network, together with Assemblymember Isaac Bryan, wants to bless you Sunday, December 18th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be toys for all kids up to 18 years old. Children must be present. See you Sunday. Thanks to our sponsors, Let's Behold, The Butterfly Effect, and SEIU 721, State Council on Developmental Disabilities, Niagara Water, Lakeshore Learning, Puck Schools, Crystal Stairs, Beach Cities, Beta Gamma Nu, Casa Lopez, and Los Fabulocos.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for human rights. The Los Angeles Civil, Human Rights and Equity Department, or LA Civil Rights for short, is focused on reducing bias and injustices while leveling the playing field. LA Civil Rights does this through equity and empowerment, the Office of Racial Equity, hate prevention, upward mobility programming, and youth programming. They convene commissions and advisory councils. The Civil, Human Rights and Equity Department of the City of Los Angeles is led by founding executive director Capri Maddox and is breaking new ground for municipal governance. LA Civil Rights oversees citywide initiatives, including the Renew program, LA Repair program, and the LA for All campaign. The LA Civil Rights Department believes that the goals of equity and inclusion for all people can be achieved through hard work and collective action. To get involved and be part of the solution, report a civil rights violation, or get more information, visit civilandhumanrights.lacity.org. That's civilandhumanrights.lacity.org or call 213-978-1845. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You want some more? It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're choosing the wrong person every time because you're choosing an idea. See, the poor man dreams of being rich. He hasn't come to terms with his current situation, so he strives to get out of it. He envisions that he's going to be something different. And yes, that's good. You can use your imagination and visualize a different situation, but not with relationships. See, your living condition, you can visualize the penthouse. Yes, you can visualize the new car. You can visualize the fat bank account. But in relationship, you've got to reconcile where you came from, your ordinary. Oh, yeah. See yourself as a life cube, not an ice cube, a life cube. What formed you? Huh? What has been concretized in your spirit? Because that's what does the choosing. Do we choose love, or are we chosen by love? An enthralling look at why we end up with who we end up with. See, we end up with the work. Everybody you get with is going to mirror back to you the unfinished work that resides in you. So you can dream about Mr. Right, coming to sweep you off your feet, but there's only Mr. Right Now. And Mr. Right Now or Mrs. Right Now represents where you are in your personal development. A lot of people don't want to accept that. They want to hear be nice and be kind and be sweet. None of that works. Listen, it's just like dumb people don't respect intelligence because they don't comprehend it. It doesn't make sense, right? Intelligent people tend not to respect who they classify as dumb. You don't get it, right? In relationship, the more toxic the person is, usually, the more attractive you are to them. The more attracted you are to, you be like, oh, yes, there's a fire on them, and there's a passion, and that's your wounds talking. Your wounds want to relate with theirs. So we choose where we are. This is what's happening. If you want to be in love, what's the quickest way to find love? Unconditional love. And this has become cliche now. Love yourself. Right? But do you know how difficult it is to love yourself? All of you. You know, all of the not Carl Jung, but Joseph Campbell called it our inner dragons. Do you know how difficult it is to love on that dragon, even though that dragon looks fierce and it looks as if it will devour you? So what do? We turn those into external expectations for our partner. If you would just do this, then I'll be comfortable in reciprocating what you've done. Whatever this is, if you would just acknowledge me, then I would be comfortable in this relationship. Not knowing you're really supposed to acknowledge yourself. If you would just approve of me, if you would just appreciate me, if you would just acknowledge and love on me, all of these things are supposed to be done by you. Why do we choose the wrong person? No one is the wrong person because everybody is right for right now. No, I don't agree with that. I didn't choose a liar. Yes, you did. Somebody call me and challenge me on it. I dare you. Please call me. 1-800-920-1580. I was explaining this to my agent, my literary agent today, because she was asking me questions about my new book. And she was like, well, how do you get into relationships that ultimately you don't want? And she specifically brought up the liar. I said, how many of you have a lying journal? And this journal has nothing to do with somebody lying to you. It has everything to do with all of the lies you tell yourself. So you think they're not connected, they're not related? Lie to yourself. That is the worst lie that can happen. One that is perpetuated by you against you. Oh, well, son, you got to fake it until you make it. We're talking about relationships. We're not talking about societal survival. We're not talking about faking it until you make it in corporate America. You have to understand the essence of relationship is spiritual because it reveals the work, not your partner's work, right? It reveals your work. So I said, create a lie journal, right? A lie journal that chronicles every lie you tell yourself. Even my agent was like, well, they're not really big lies. They're little lies. And yes, that's what you tell yourself. So now you become a liar magnet. And guess what? There's even more. What about your self-esteem? If you reinforce your self-esteem with negative self-talk, you become a beacon for people that will beat on your self-esteem. This is how it works. See, we so caught up on the social piece of relationship, where we were educated, where we work, what's our career, and how much money we have, and where we live, and do we have a car, and we so caught up on the societal piece that we forget the most important aspect of relationship is spiritual. What do you mean spiritual? You can say psychological. You can say metaphysical. You can say internal work. But I've said before, the work you do in relationship is not the work you demand of your partner. It is the work you demand of yourself. 1-800-920-1580. Reggie from Austin, Texas. Get in here.
Man, Zoe, I appreciate what you said. What I want you to talk about or really just reset for me is the relationship between passionate relationships and compassionate relationships, because it makes sense in what you're talking about today. You said it a couple of days ago, and I caught the back half of it.
Right. Passionate relationships are very superficial, right? They use the flame of interest, the flame of attraction, the flame of aesthetic. Oh, you look good, you feel good, it sounds good, we vibing. And typically passionate relationship burns hot and short. Compassionate relationship, on the other hand, you settle in. We don't have to have sex every night. Sex is not that important. We don't have to incessantly go places and do things in order to keep the relationship going. Compassionate relationship is rooted in the compassion we have for ourselves that emanates to our partners and is organically reciprocated. Compassionate, it's more stable, it's lasting. We okay staying at home and watching Netflix. Compassionate, we're gonna make it. We on a journey together. Passionate is where we going, what we doing. You know what? We stopped doing the things that we did in the beginning that made the relationship fun. That's passionate. You see what I'm saying?
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Appreciate you, man.
Man, appreciate you. We appreciate the call. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, that was Austin, Texas. All you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. A lot of people don't understand the true dynamics of relationship. How do you forgive yourself for choosing the wrong person? First off, stop saying you chose the wrong person. Every wrong person is actually the right lesson. Somebody meme that for me. Put it on Instagram right now. Every wrong person is the right lesson. The universe don't work in waste. Oh, you wasted my time. Oh, you know what? I thought you were going to give me what I wanted. I can't give you nothing you can't give yourself. 1-800-920-1580. Sean, Oakland, California. Get in here.
Hey, brother, another powerful subject. You know, my thing is, that I, in my idealistic mind, in relationships, I've been very fortunate in a relationship. So is resilience number one. Look, people, this is what I tell my kids. I got teenagers. I know you have kids, though. I mean, what I want to tell you is when you're out there, if you're looking to be in a relationship, something sustainable, all right, look for someone you think is resilient. There's someone that can get through anything in this world with you. Because I'll tell you what, you're going to be confronted with something in your life, whatever that is, that's very difficult, and you want that kind of person. Guess what? Bling, bling, a bunch of money in their pocket and all that kind of thing. Yeah, okay, really? Come on. Make your own and do your own, and if that's whatever amount you make, the most richest thing you could ever accumulate is that resilience between you and your better half, whatever that couple is, and you work your life together, and you can get through anything in life.
I agree with you, Sean. I really do, man, and I appreciate you, as always, for being one of the first callers as the show begins. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Yay! Listen. Passionate relationship is the sister loving the bad boy. Is the brother loving the baddie? The aesthetic, the superficiality, right? The sparkle of the moment. But the reality of it is, good people exist. And when you become a good person, you start to shift from the passionate, superficial relationship into the compassionate, sustainable relationship, right? As Dr. David R. Hawkins once said, love is misunderstood to be an emotion. Actually, it is a state of awareness, a way of being in the world, a way of seeing oneself and others. Love for God or nature or even one's pets opens the door to spiritual inspiration, to desire to make others happy and override selfishness. Now, watch this. Let's just peel into that a little bit, that last piece. The desire to make others happy overrides selfishness. Well, first off, your desire to make somebody happy your desire and effort to make somebody happy cannot come from a selfish place. It has to come from a selfless place, and it has to be given as a gift without recompense. I do not want to be repaid for what I'm doing. I'm doing it because I am love, not because I'm seeking love or acknowledgement or approval or appreciation from the person I'm doing it for. See, you got to cultivate that level of awareness and consciousness within yourself. But if you do not cultivate that, you're going to be a seeker of it. And you're going to seek through limited expectations of others. Please show up for me in the way that I need you to. Please show up, because no one has ever showed up for me. That's because you haven't showed up for yourself. That's why you put all the blame on your significant others. Oh, Lord. When I come forward, the phone lines are starting to crack. 1-800-920-1580. Who is choosing you if you ain't?
There's no doubt in my mind. All good things will come in time. Now don't you worry, my dear. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Oh, knocking at my door, trying to set me free. Now when I'm laying in the ghetto, when I'm down and out.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Mourners are paying their respects to the victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre in Newtown, Connecticut. They stopped by the memorial today to mark the 10th anniversary of the tragedy that took the lives of 20 first graders and 6 educators.
Literally had to come in and chainsaw our way through trees to get onto the roads to try to do recovery and life-saving measures that we could.
That's St. Charles Parish Sheriff Greg Champagne viewing widespread damage in the New Orleans area after a tornado hit late today. At least one person is confirmed dead and 8 people were treated at a hospital in St. Charles Parish. Long COVID is responsible for more than 3,500 deaths in the U.S. That's according to new research put out by the CDC. Researchers looked at death certificates between January 1st, 2020 and June 30th of this year. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Drought, war, and rising food prices have doubled the number of families facing malnutrition. You can help $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
Is the pen mightier than the sword?
They say the pen is mightier than the sword. At KBLA Talk 1580, we not only have a lot to talk about, we have a lot to write about. Politics, relationships, business, empowerment, and culture. The all-star roster at KBLA Talk 1580 has you covered.
That's what it's all about.
Be sure to follow us on all our socials for our latest book releases, op-eds, essays, and commentaries from our hosts. And, of course, download the KBLA 1580 app as we strive to remain your most trusted, credible, and reliable source for the issues you care about. This is unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
What up, baby?
Bring in the new year with Cat Williams. He's coming to Ontario in the Toyota Arena December 30th. And in Los Angeles in the Microsoft Theater December 31st.
I don't know what I'm going to do about this light bill. Just hit the blunt one time and see if it don't change your perception of what's important in your life. I don't know what I'm going to do about this life. Them blunts. I got 12 candles. I've been waiting to burn them.
He's back with an all-new show. It's the award-winning comedian, Cat Williams.
Just so you knew they was lying, they said some next that don't even make mathematical sense. They said there's a chicken wing shortage, but we got plenty thighs.
Cat Williams with his special guests, Marco, Tommy Davidson, Tony Roberts, Daphne Springs, and Pretty Ricky. In Ontario, get tickets at Ticketmaster. In Los Angeles at AXS.com. Bring in the new year with Cat Williams.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Central Neighborhood Health Foundation is a full-service network of federally qualified health care centers that serves local communities throughout Los Angeles, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. CNHF clinics provide low-cost to no-cost, compassionate, comprehensive, quality health care, which includes primary care services for chronic disease and diabetes management, pediatric and women's services, preventive care, vision and dental screenings, COVID-19 testing and vaccines, flu vaccines, behavioral health, HIV, and substance use services. Virtual telehealth visits are available from the comfort of your home with highly qualified physicians and medical professionals. CNHF also provides peer support specialist training and help with housing navigation. Central Neighborhood Health Foundation. Your wellness is our priority. Comprehensive care built on trust and respect. For more information, visit cnhfclinics.org or call 213-536-5815 today to locate a clinic near you.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you a happy holiday and wants to bless you with one night only. A Wonder Winter's Night presented by Stevie Wonder's House Full of Toys benefit concert. Saturday, December 17th at Microsoft Theater. Download the KBLA Talk 1580.com mobile app to enter to win a pair of tickets. This has been a community call to action brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stop the violence. Increase the Peace Foundation is a non-profit community-based organization dedicated to fostering peace while mitigating violence in our society. Established in 1993, Stop the Violence, Increase the Peace has provided a wide variety of assistance to thousands of youth, families, and victims of violence over the past 3 decades, including intervention services, conflict and dispute resolution training, grief counseling, and victims advocacy. In addition, the foundation offers an array of classes focused on anger management, domestic violence, parenting, substance abuse, and more. To make a donation or to access services, call 323-445-8620. That's 323-445-8620 or visit www.increasethepeacefoundation.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Sweetheart, I've been trying so hard to get over you. I just simply can't. 'Cause the love we shared through the years meant so much to me. All I'm looking for is just a serious relationship, somebody I can hold all my life. Won't you give me that commitment? Let's settle down. Let's chill. Don't be afraid of me. I know my love is scary, but I promise everything will be alright. Come closer. Let me talk to you. Let's chill. Oh, baby. Hey. Let's chill. Let's chill. Baby. From the first time I saw your face, girl, I knew I had to have you. I wanted to wrap you with my warm embrace. Visions of your lovely face.
Ladies and brothers,
my love is for you.
why do we choose the drama? Why do we choose the tragedy, the disappointment, the frustration, the exacerbation? Why do we choose it? And not only do we choose it once, we choose it over and over and over again. Why do we do it? It's because of those wounds. It's because of those psychological setbacks that we have refused to deal with. Well, I'm here to talk to all of y'all. The phone lines are cracking. Let's get JT from Atlanta in the building right now. JT, let's go.
Oh, hold on. Wait, I have my headphones. Hold on. One second.
I just saw you on the line. I know you be at work. I got to get you in here. You all the way from Atlanta. We got to get you right.
Yes, I appreciate it. Hi, Chad. I just want to say, so in regards to tonight's topic, with me being on my self-love journey, what I'm starting to understand and realize is that, as you state, I was attracting what I was, which was broken and lost and what else? Like broken and lost and damaged and just trying to, compensate me not loving myself, trying to find it within someone else. But what I will say is that now that I look at like where I'm at now, I kind of appreciate the fact that I've had those relationships because it's made me a better person. Plus, it allows me to see what I do want in a relationship going forward and what I will and will not put up with. But as you also say all the time, you attract what you are. So if you're not working on yourself, you're going to continuously keep attracting what you are and who you are. So if you want better, you got to do better. Love you, chat. Have a good night, guys.
We love you, JT. And she brought up a great point. That is the nature of relationship. That is the nature of relationship. We should go into it enthusiastically. What darkness about me will be revealed in this new interaction? Not, is this person going to let me down like the last one? You have to go in search of yourself every single time. How am I going to show up? Right? Which ugly part of me is going to show up, and how am I going to deal with it? Am I going to reprimand it? Am I going to judge it? Am I going to condemn it? Or am I going to empathize with it? Now, empathizing with it doesn't mean accepting it. Heru Ali, Battle Creek, Michigan, jump in here.
Peace and love to the family of nations. Honor
sir. Yes, sir.
And honor Tavis Smiley. Listen, you could not have chosen a more appropriate or apropos song besides Let's Chill.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think a part of the issue is we were never taught. We are the quote-unquote Pepsi generation, the Generation X. Our parents came from the baby boomers. Who taught you, Zoe? Who taught the listeners, Zoe?
Man, I taught myself.
How to choose. how to choose. Who was raised to be a husband when we were growing up? Who was raised to be a wife? None of us. Not near one. Not near another. Not near one of us was. So I would have to say is, listen, suffering, like I said in the chat, suffering is mandatory for maturation, at least for a man. I'm going to speak for the man side. I'm going to speak for the women. Because you have to be careful who you chase, because you might catch them. But are you going to be prepared for what you catch? Because just personally, my wife, I was married for 21 years. I chased my wife. When I saw her, it was like, from the first time, I was like, woo! She had a skirt on. The thing was poking that thing out, all of that. And I was like, oh, she got to have my baby. Even though I know you don't like me, I'm going to make you like me. So I chased her. Her grandfather, who was raising her, had a stroke. I was in nurse aid training in high school, so every time I got out of high school, I went to the general hospital, and I took care of him. It's like, oh, I'm going to show you that I'm the one you're supposed to be with. I'm going to make you love me because I'm in love. And here's the crazy thing is, after my instructors at the school and all this, is like, oh, no, she's not the one. My family members were telling me, oh, no, she's not the one. I was like, y'all crazy. Well, I think there's a song that says that fools rush in. Oh, I rushed in. I sure did. Oh, you go. So I put her on the spot. I was taking care of her grandfather who had a stroke in the bed. Her aunt, her grandmother came in there, and I asked her grandfather, I said, sir, I just would like to ask you a question. Do I have your permission to love your granddaughter? So I put her on the spot. Of course, peer pressure. That's one of the psychological states of persuasion. When she told me, she's like, you know what? I'll be your boyfriend. I'll be your girlfriend, pause. I'll be your girlfriend. Just don't tell nobody. That should have been a red flag for me. I'll be your girlfriend. Just don't tell nobody. And when we was going steady, she started accusing me of, she tried to isolate me, and she did, because I was like, listen, I'm willing to give all my female friends that I'm not having sex with, all of that, just to prove to you that I love you and you are the one. You are exactly the one. So I was taught in reverse. They gave me the warnings after I told them that this is the one that I want to be my wife when I was in high school. We are void of rites of passages. And of course, we know the historical context of being colonized and how they took us out of our position in the 60s and all that stuff. Wait a minute. After I fell in love with her, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Wait.
Not knowing.
Heru, stay with me. When we come forward, I'm going to let you finish it up, brother, because you cooking right now. Stay with us. Battle Creek, Michigan is in the kitchen.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
The state task force is getting closer to identifying what reparations will look like in California. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. The California Task Force to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans will be conducting its last meeting of 2022 on December 14th and 15th at Oakland City Hall Chambers, beginning at 9 a.m. with time for public comment. Meetings will be live streamed on the task force website or on ETM Media YouTube. Task Force Chairperson Kamala Moore says that the next meeting is of high importance and will include an in-depth conversation about redress and repair. So far, the task force has determined a conservative estimate of 2 million African Americans in California who have ancestors that were enslaved here in the U.S. They are still determining what or how much compensation should be. Let's start the conversation on social media pages at KBLA 1580.
Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare for being KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Into your business today in the KBLA app or KBLA1580.com for the Office of the Week. Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare.
This winter, spread joy, not germs. As soon as you feel symptoms, test it, treat it. You can beat it. COVID medications like the Paxlovid pill can help you test negative sooner. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to find treatment today. Again, that's 833-422-4255. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
KBLA Talk 1580, putting the spotlight on culture and community. The Rodney King Foundation works in the community to promote positive race relations and achieve social justice. The foundation provides advocacy, educational scholarships, and the powerful Walk in Love initiative. The Rodney King Foundation seeks a world of hope, tolerance, and social justice, where divisiveness has been overcome and all people live together peacefully and harmoniously. Executive Director, Founder Laura King is striving to enhance the community's self-esteem, health, social services, and social justice locally and worldwide. The foundation is dedicated to continuing the message of Laura's father, the great Rodney King, to promote peace and #Get Along. For more information, please visit rodneyking.org or call 626-541-2907. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
More of the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
Auntie Anita. Sometimes we get caught up in the rapture of passionate love when it's compassionate love we desire. Sometimes the flames of right now, the flames of, oh, this is so, it feels so right, it can't be wrong. Sometimes that superficial flash in the pan blinds us into thinking this is something we should invest in. But the reality of it is, you're not investing in the relationship. you're not investing in your partner. You're really investing in you. But you can't pour back into you until you know the shape of your vessel. 1-800-920-1580. Heru Ali, get in here, man.
Listen, I'm going to end it with this right here. There's no way that folks who came from miseducation, economic castration, and semi-poverty, because I wasn't poor. Hell, I had a waterbed in my junior high years.
Oh, boy, you was living the high life on the waterbed.
Listen, with the heater.
Come
and
on.
The bumpers and all of that stuff. Listen, it was only after I announced to my high school teachers that I was going to get married right out of high school that they told me, they said, well, statistically, your marriage is going to fail. It won't last farther than 5 years. I was like, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy as hell, because I thought I knew everything. At 18, I thought I knew everything. So what I would say is there's no way for broken people to connect with broken people and think that they're going to make a whole.
But
we were unaware.
But Heru, I'll push back a little bit and say we live in the age of information now. And
absolutely,
we've turned deep spiritual principles into cliches. So the information is there. And let me tell you, the conditioning of what we've been through is like software on a computer. It can be upgraded or deleted outright. It's just going to yes, brother, it's just going to require work. Heru, I got to come forward, but I want to take you with me. When I come forward, I'm going to continue to talk to Heru.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hurry home before a storm. I can't wait to see you smile again. And I love the time we spent. I waited for the break of day to come, so I can see your smile in the sun. I couldn't wait to get to school, oh baby, to see your pretty face. I've got to stay cool. Break it down, girl, don't leave me.
My playlist is my co-host. Come on, y'all. The voice of reason is on fire tonight. A straight relationship bonfire at KBLA. Talk 1580, you know how we do. How do you forgive yourself for choosing the wrong person? Do you choose love or does it choose you? 1-800-920-1580, Haru Ali, please wrap up your thought here, brother.
Yes. How the hell do we know what love is if we wasn't taught what love is? I grew up in a single mother household. My mother, and she continues to rest in paradise, love her. She was all about taking care of her babies, but she was a side chick. She was a side chick, and she was always getting tricked and disappointed. So I'll leave you with this, that in spite of all the best efforts from the tool that you have in your toolbox, just like Brandy said in a song, everybody know almost doesn't count. Being married for 21 years, right out of high school, trying to do the best that I can. And I wasn't perfect, and they wasn't perfect. Not a slight to my children's mother. But guess what? Everybody knows almost doesn't count. And if you don't value the relationship, and how could you? Because you was never taught. You was never taught to value the relationship. How can you endure the hardships? Because remember, back in the day, it used to be when you got married, it was to love, honor, and obey. Well, the feminist movement removed that, love, honor, and obey, to folks making their own vows. I'm going to do this so-called covenant with God. Listen, black folks need to stop front like they Christians, like they really believe in God, like they really honor the Christian God. Really? Through sickness and health? Till death do us part? Are you? Stop.
Hey, Haru, listen, brother, I got reprimanded last night for making the same point. But I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for calling in, Haru Ali, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace and love to the family and nations. Y'all stay safe. Happy holidays or whatever you do.
Yes, happy Kwanzaa, all of it. Listen, we not finna play any reindeer games with you tonight. That's the problem with relationships. It's predicated on game and manipulation and subterfuge, right? We're all trying to convince this person that we are the mask we present. When I come forward, the phone lines are jam-packed. But listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. I will do my best to get you on the line. People all over the country want to talk, and so do I.
There's nothing else I'd rather do. Nothing else I'd rather. I just want the chance I had again. You know.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Mourners are paying their respects to the victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre